Alright, or Babber?
Hello folks, sorry I've been distracted by this ticker. James Telestrian III the third to announce new Seattle Research Division. Yes, welcome back to Shadowrun Returns. I think we're on the verge of going to see Sam's body, who left us a message last time because he died. So we'll just quickly do this intro thing. Your plane hits the SeaTac tarmac with a jolt. Welcome to Seattle. The chilly northwest rain obscures your vision as you step onto the tarmac. Before long, you're sitting in the cramped back seat of a cab following the signal from Sam's locator chip into the heart of the Redmond Barrens. Organ grinders, a legal chop shop for body parts, whether from the living or the dead. If you're hurting bad enough in Newen, this is the place to sell a limb or an organ. It's also a good place to dispose of an inconvenient body while making a little cash on the side. The franchise is the closest thing the Barrens has to a morgue. It seems this is where Sam Watts' body has ended up. You open the door and are assaulted by the smell of death and bleach. Now, WASD works. So let's go and have a little look around. I'm in the back. Okay, alright, if you insist. The smell of death and decomposition wash over you, only slightly masked by the minty fake fresh of industrial grade antiseptic. There's a blokey to talk to. I take it that's Sam's body, because it's in its own little room, and that would be good for plot devices and all that. Oh, there's a curtain there. We can go behind the curtain. Alright, oh, there's nothing there. Let's speak to the man. What's his name? Dresden. Not the magician, I assume. Dresden, I'm speaking to you. Hovering over the recently departed is a small dwarf whistling a tune. His broad grin says, I love my job. A little more than you'd want or expect from someone in a chop shop trade. As you approach, he looks up with a lopsided grin. There's something kindly in his eyes, although it might just be a stray reflection of chrome and surgical tools. Sorry, didn't expect any visitors at this hour, and some asshole at corporate took my receptionist. What can I do for you, sir? Are you the coroner? I'm John Dresden, the organ grinders branch manager here. So yeah, that makes me this franchise area's coroner too. And you are? Something's ringing. Is that my cell phone of some description? I have no idea. I represent a man named Sam Watts, and I'm here to look into his murder. He frowns. Interesting. A dead man makes for a strange client. But what makes you think he's here? Sam had a locator chip embedded in his skull. I followed it here. Look at me. With my skills. I see. Well, you're right. He's here. Not too many people know about the murder yet, though. The press haven't caught wind of it yet, what with it being all the way out here in the Barrens. So who told you he was dead? Sam did. I'm not telling him about the money. Sam's digital ghost. When his heart stopped, I got sent a recorded message asking me to bring his killer to justice. Guess he had a hunch. The dwarf raises his eyebrows, a smile wiping the suspicion from his face. A dead man's switch, eh? Fascinating. I was working on him earlier. He's over here. I'm sure I'll forget that voice for later on, because I'm sure we've got to come back about 9 times. Probably. Alright, Dresden, what's going on, mate? He's my second Emerald City Ripper victim. The third one was downtown. Ripper, huh? I guess the classics never go out of style. Emerald City Ripper? He sighs. Not my title. That's what the Seattle press insists on calling the killer. All I know is that, like the original Jack, our Ripper knows how to handle a scalpel. But this one's even more twisted. He or she always removes an internal organism from the victim's ism. And what prize did the Ripper take from Sam? Watts's liver was cleanly cut out. How about the other lucky contestants? The first victim's heart was missing, and the third had the spleen removed. A heart, a liver, and a spleen. Dresden, get out here! Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's boss. I'm here about the new Ripper Vic, Sam Watts. Alright, trolly face, McCluskey. Not Mrs. McCluskey, I presume. Towering over the diminutive coroner is a homicide detective right out of central casting. If you ignore the tusks, pointed ears and Neanderthal brow, you can smell his cheap aftershave from a mile away. So this new Ripper Vic Watts? Name's familiar. Didn't his mother kill herself a while back? The coroner frowns. So you insisted at the time. See, the voice is different already. So you insisted at the time. He chortles. Come on, she offed herself. I had it on very good authority. Now let's go, Dresden. Give me something to work with here. This Ripper case is my ticket to a lieutenant's badge. I've already posted everything I know. I think I've gone Yorkshire. The killer stuns the target with a combination of drugs and magic, then removes a single internal organ while they're still alive. The perpetrator is most likely right-handed with a slim hand. Now I've strayed away from Yorkshire, that knows his way around a scalpel. Has a decent understanding of human and metahuman anatomy too. So I'm looking for a whacked-out surgeon. Not necessarily. I don't know any surgeons who still use scalpels anymore. These days it's all done with computer-controlled lasers. Could be anyone from a military field surgeon to an antique medicine aficionado. You're no damn help, dwarf. The Lone Star detective finally notices you. You notice superhuman powers of observation. Who the hell are you? Oh, look at that. I got strength. None of your business, lumpy. Oh, I bet that's not worth karma. This is going to get me into trouble with the cops, isn't it? None of your business, lumpy. His face contorts in a hideous snarl. You're funny, troll. Maybe we'll find another time to do a little dance later, you and me. That beeping went off again. I don't know if it's part of the background music or not. He looks back at the dwarf. Dresden, get me more. I am putting someone in a cell or a box this week and claiming my promotion. Well, look at you, Mr. Ratty Man. Dresden, man, he's a bit rough and tumble, isn't he? Dresden looks amused. Do you always make friends that easily? I'm great at dinner parties too. He cocks his head to one side. Be straight with me. Be straight with me. You really gonna work for the dead man? Sam was there when I needed him. A job's a job. I'm gonna bring his killer to justice. At least street justice. Sam was there when I needed him. I'm gonna return the favour. Fascinating again. Detective McCluskey isn't interested in anything but Detective McCluskey. He'd convict his own mother if it meant another 10 new and a week in his paycheck. Plus he's on the take. Dresden pauses, considering. You have honour after a fashion, so I try to honour the dead in my work, so we have that in common. What can I do to help you? Okay, on the take, who's paying to hold his leash? I don't know, but someone with some major pull has been looking out for McCluskey's career and wallet. And what was McCluskey saying about Sam's... where was Sam killed? Yeah, what was that McCluskey said about Sam's mother? The official report is that she committed suicide about a year ago. Aren't you the official in that sentence? My name's on the report, but my actual findings left some doubts. I can't say that it wasn't suicide, but there were unusual bruises on her upper arms, and she didn't use her dominant hand to pull the trigger. I was told to drop it, so I dropped it. He dropped it like it was hot. And what are organs worth these days? A whole healthy body can be worth a bunch of new ones, but individual organs, Not worth as much anymore, what with all the synth and cyber stuff on the market these days. Organ grinders only deal in the recently deceased. There's plenty of other chop shops that aren't as picky though, and they don't care where the bodies come from either. And who still uses scalpels? Doctors still learn how to use them in their first year of medical school, as do coroners, but neither profession uses them much anymore. It's possible some of the slimier chop stops some of the slimier chop shops still use scalpels, I suppose, but I wouldn't know where to look. And I need to know one more thing. Where was Sam killed? Dresden looks up at you into... Oh, we got karma. Ask Coroner about Sam Watts. Dresden looks up at you intently for a moment before speaking. You know, I might be able to do you one better. Why don't you poke around those body lockers in the back and see if you find anything useful. Okay, I'll go do that then. Right, open the morgue drawer. It's over there, but there's something over here. Look at this over here. Let's have a little look-see. What we got? Basic med kit. That's never a bad thing. Sam's body is half covered by a sterile surgical sheet. His face an ashen white, for the first time without a smirk on it. Below the chest there's a small pencil-thin incision covered in dried blood. Beyond that, the corpse is immaculate. It would seem that the killer knew exactly what they wanted from him and took it. Next to Sam are several plastic envelopes containing the evidence found on his body. You can examine evidence through the bag without spoiling it. Let's have a look at the business card. Moving things around, you can make out that it's a card from a place called the Seamstresses Union. There is something handwritten on the back, but blood has made it illegible. Yes, we know what the Seamstresses Union is for, don't we? For the ladies of the night. Ooh, yeah. That's what seamstresses do. We're going to be going to a seedy, dirty little place to get our trolley rocks off. Literally. Not literally. Nobody's chopping them off. Anyway, let's look at the cred stick. It's a standard, cheap, unsecured cred stick. No way of knowing what's on it without slotting it. Yeah, we'll take that, thank you. 300 yen, Nguyen. I say yen. Nguyen. New yen. New yen. Maybe it's a new yen. I call it Nguyen. New yen, yes. Right, anyway, look at the purple shirt. It's Sam's shirt. Several of the buttons are missing, and blood has thoroughly soaked it. The bag sloshes a bit in your hand. Right, let's have a little look at the note. You can only see part of the note given the torn off bits and blood stains. Sam, I feel terrible that we argued about your mother. We have been separated too long. It's hard to say I'm screwed. See you there. Love, Jessica. Alright, let's put down the bag. We'll take the money. We'll take the money and run. Right. Lockers over here. Drawer over here. What is my objective? Open the drawer. I'm not opening the morgue drawer just yet. I'm going to check these two things out first. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Basic med kit. Dock wagon basic trauma kit. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at our kits. We've got XP to spend. We'll save it up a bit first, I think. Inventory. Med kits, med kits. Basic, basic. Dock wagon. Can they stack? Nope, they can't stack. Okay, fair enough. Let's open the drawer. The cold storage drawer is labelled John Doe, but the internal thermostat is set to 21 degrees Celsius. Oh, that's quite comfortable. Maybe a little too warm. The cold storage drawer opens to reveal the fully clothed body of a man, arms folded across his chest. In addition to sporting some of the brightest orange hair you've ever seen, the body seems to be in very good condition. Jake Armitage. Whoa, easy there. Whoa, easy there, man. In one quick move, he jumps down from the drawer and stands before you. For someone who just woke up in a morgue locker, he seems unfazed and pretty well put together. You spot a data jack drilled into his temples and some shamanistic tattoos peeking above his collar. An interesting combination. I told John to wake me up, and I'm never going to remember this voice, and he's like a main character. I told John to wake me up at 6 in the morning. Is it 6 yet? Doesn't feel like 6 yet. You were just sleeping in a freezer for dead people. Don't tell me you haven't considered it. Cheaper than a coffin hotel, and the service is just as good. He chuckles. Well, so much for a good night's sleep. On the plus side, I notice you haven't killed me yet, so that's good. If you aren't after me, then what's your story? I'll ask questions. What the hell are you doing in a morgue drawer? I'm in charge of this conversation. Well, playing dead, mostly. A bunch of gangers out there want my head, and I'd rather keep it. He sounds a bit redneck, doesn't he? Maybe we'll drop that. Figured I'd lay low for a while, give him some time to cool down. Motherfucker. Jake yells towards the other side of the room. John, is this guy cool? Yeah, he's on the level, working for Sam, believe it or not. Some sort of dead man switch. I thought you could help him out. Maybe even stop moping around the shop all day. Thanks for volunteering me. He pauses, might be sizing you up. Something's beeping again, but it's hard to tell behind those shades. Alright then, name's Jake, and you are... call me Babber. Nice to meet you. Well, it sounds like you're taking a dive into the deep end here. John's right, I might be able to help you out. I was with Sam the other night, the night of the murder. Poor guy. He was hanging out the Seamstresses Union that night. We knew that. We got that. I got a burp. No, I haven't. Tripped out and rowdy. I'd been laying low there for a few days after a bad run. Mrs. Kubota asked me to throw Sam out, so I did. But out in the alley, some gangers got the jump on me. He winces. Damn. Maybe I need some soy calf after all. John, can you grab me a cup? Get your own damn cup. My hands are dirty anyway. Now what's wrong with his intestine? You hear a loud squelching sound as Dresden continues his work. Thanks, John. You're a real pal. Anyway, there's a big fat corp bounty on my head. Like I said, my last job didn't exactly... That's terrible. It's terrible. Like I said, I'm going back to English. Like I said, my last job didn't exactly go according to plan. Out in the alley, a few Halloweeners got the jump on us. Damn gangers thought they could turn a quick profit off my head. Jake smiles, and you get the impression that didn't work out so well for the gangers. Sam stumbled off during the fight, though, and that's the last I saw of him, until he turned up here, dead on arrival. Reminds me of my last stay in this place. You've done this before? It's a long story. I end up in the morgue more often than the average guy. Yeah, Jake here's a regular. Should have started a rewards card, Jake. Few more visits, you get a free night's stay. Jake laughs. I'll hold you to that, John. Anyway, they found Sam's body less than a block away from the Union. Missing liver and all. Tell you what, you look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I could use some backup to settle the score with those Halloweeners out there. Their leader's got the whole gang searching the barrens for me. I need to get rid of that asshole. In return, I'll take you to the place Sam was murdered. It's not safe to hit the streets alone at night, trust me. Jake eyes you up and down. And maybe I'll throw in some decent supplies while we're at it. What do you say? I do like a bit of street justice now and again. Count me in. Great. I've been hiding out here ever since that run-in with those Halloweeners. Whiny bunch of gangers. But this stretch of the Barrens is their turf. Hell, I'm surprised you even made it to this morgue in one piece without packing some heat. Dresden, he yells over his shoulder. Very funny, Jake. You can sleep in the dumpster tomorrow. Got the beeping again. So, you need a weapon? No guns for me. Melee's my game. All I got here is a baseball bat, but you look like you can handle yourself. Ready for an evening out on the town, visit Sam's murder site. Tell me some more about these gangers. Well, they're one of the nastier gangs in town. Their symbol is a flaming jack-o'-lantern, but you wouldn't like their version of trick-or-treating very much. Around here, they're led by a troll named John Paul. He's got all the Halloweeners in the Barrens looking for me. We take him out. Maybe I can breathe a bit easier. Okay. I'm ready. I'll follow your lead. The Halloweeners aren't looking for you yet. Alright. And that looks to be around the kind of place where I want to leave this episode, around the 20-minute mark, give or take. So what we will do is head out next time into the big wide world and go and kill some gangers, some Halloweeners, with our new friend Jake Armitage. So until next time, folks, bye bye for now.